Good. We're all set.
You do.
Okay. This is the January 8th, 2026 meeting of the Salem Parks and Recreation Advisory Board. This is our reorganization meeting where we elect a new chair and vice chair. And I have the distinct honor of presiding until that happens. Okay. So we have three new members, two of which I think are here one way or the other. I'm going to ask every board member to, after you say here, to one or two sentences telling the new people and the new people getting to know something about the old people. About you, so that kind of break the ice, so we have some understanding of who we're talking to. I will start. My name is Rick Hartwig, and I am here. I was for 35 years a middle school choir director, and am still recovering after many years, and been involved with a lot of volunteers since then. Chris Donaldson.
Here. Chris Donaldson, new member, been in Salem since 2018, worked for the U.S. Forest Service, so very interested in public lands. I've been working in prescribed fire and fire management since 2002, and I also have a 4-year-old, so I'm also very interested in playgrounds and parks in general at this point.
Great, welcome. Mauricio Flores is not here. Zachary Hammerly is not here. Ellen Holland.
This is, I think it's my first year on this board. I've got about another one or so. I'm a retired school teacher, math and science. I did put myself through college working for the Forest Service, mark and timber and stuff. And I've been retired now for 22 years. So I've been doing mostly volunteer work and I'm interested in trees, birds, forests, and rivers and outdoor recreation generally. So I'm glad to be part of the group.
Thank you. Sigrid Olson.
I'm a 7th generation Oregonian, and I currently teach public school at Sprague High School, and I love parks, creeks, everything. I think Salem is a beautiful park-rich city with a lot of history behind volunteerism.
Thank you. Delight Walker is not here. Fraser Wick.
Hey, I'm Fraser Wick. I'm online. Couldn't make it in person today, but yeah, I'm been in Salem for the last.
Okay.
Mr. Wick.
Oh, can you hear me? Can you hear me all right?
We know you're here.
Are you able to hear me at all?
Yeah, we should have full volume over here.
But he stepped away.
I can. Can you hear me at all?
Okay.
Message.
Can you hear me? I can keep talking until you can hear me. I'll just keep. Can you hear me at all?
Oh,
Hey, can you hear me there? No?
Oh, she's typing. Is it she or he?
Oh.
yes. So.
We'll see if you look at the microphone up by Fraser's name
Hello?
Oh,
and see.
Is there
It's
music
just
around?
speaking. I was gonna say it shows.
Hello?
oh, yes.
Oh, yeah, you're talking.
All right. There's a new computer in this room, and that's probably what's going on. And a new version of Windows I don't know how to use. Remember, what can you say something?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Spatial sound down at the bottom, is that supposed to be on?
you just try it one more time for us?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Doesn't you see if Mitch? maybe
Yes,
is-
you just say that you.
Yeah, always all someone. It could be on. He or she.
All right, well, I have lived in Salem since 2016 and have served in the past on parks and rec committees in Lake Oswego and served as the president of an HOA and helped manage our 7 acres of common grounds. I don't mind communicating via chat.
Okay,
We'll
Thank
try to, remedy the issue.
okay. All right, well, welcome. Kinda, all righty. Approval of minutes from December 11th is a problem because they're not ready for us.
Okay.
So we will have to approve them at the next meeting. Of course, we need all 5 of the returning people to approve them because that's the majority, and the new people could not do that because they weren't here at that meeting. Okay. All right. Public comment, I see there is no public, nobody signed up. Okay. We now are going to go through the nomination and election of our chair and vice chair. So we will open up nominations for the position of chair. I'd like to nominate,
Mr. Rick Hartwig is our chair.
okay,
Do I need a second?
no,
No, just
No.
nominate, okay.
I'll accept that. Okay, any other nominations? Going once,
Was that a request there?
going twice, okay. Now, there's, Rob, there's only one name in nomination, should we do it by acclamation?
That's sure, I think that'd be okay. And then do you wanna, I'm sorry, before we leave, nominations, do I have nomination for both positions, both officers?
That's the same before we vote on any?
Yes, if we could do both nominations.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll open up the floor for nominations for vice chair. Okay,
Are you interested?
I was hoping to get one meeting under my belt.
Yes.
The way it works.
I'll nominate Alan Holland, I guess.
I wasn't even sure if I was voting on this as a brand new member.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, now. Any other nominations? Okay. Now can we do it by acclamation?
One at a time, yes.
Or should we just do
Just do the vote.
Yes, do the vote.
individual votes?
I think if you just wanna do, I don't think you have to do a roll call vote, but if you could do a vote, one is officer position at a time.
One officer time,
Yeah.
okay. And roll call or not?
I don't think you need to do a roll call.
Okay. Alrighty, so it's either in unison, A or nay. For the position of chair, Rick Hartwig, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Nay. Oh.
Yay.
Hey.
Yay.
Good to hear you. At some point in time, I'd like to even see you. And nays? Oh, lordy. Okay. And for the position of vice chair, Alan Hollins, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Right.
Nays? Okay, well, congratulations for those two. I guess that means I stay right here and do this, right?
Yep, you got it.
Oh, okay. Alrighty, we are now to talk about our work plan for this year. You should have in front of you, sorry, Fraser, a copy of a draft.
Oh, that's the report. I have the work plan right here.
Oh, that
That's
work
it.
plan.
That work
Oh,
plan.
yeah.
And
Okay.
Chair Harvick, I'd be happy to present it if that was.
Yeah,
something
please
you
do.
wanted to do. This is Rob Romanak, Parks Planning Manager. Staff has prepared a work plan based on some feedback we received at the prior meeting in December, and also just what is customarily a component of Sprout's work plan over the past several years. And so I'll just go through it quickly. Before I do, I want to highlight that this document in front of you is also the proposed meeting schedule. We will handle that as the next agenda item. So in the first category is board development. First one is what we just did here, nominate and have elections of officers. Adopt the meeting schedule is on today's agenda as well. Other here is develop and adopt work plan. That's for next year. So that's going to come to you in November and December. And then there was some conversation at the last meeting about multiple park tours. So I did put that in there. I will say that for staff capacity reasons, one of those may be like a self-guided tour. We'll have to see, but for now we did put those put two in. Next here is budget and capital improvement plan. These are just for those who are unfamiliar. Capital improvement plan is a financial planning tool the city uses to forecast funds for large capital improvements to the park system. That's currently defined as over $100,000. So there's an opportunity to kind of check in on that process several times a year. SPRAB has in the past several years had a lot of interest in learning more about the CIP process and potentially, suggesting projects and suggesting ideas along the way. So that's why that is included here. And then there's an opportunity to review the city's budget, particularly the component that has to do with Parks and Recreation, our division budget. The next category here is community engagement. And a lot of this is associated with two initiatives the board's been working on for a number of years. The first one is reaching out to the 17 neighborhood associations that are recognized by the city, connecting with them, having a member attend one of their meetings, and give information about the Salem Park Improvement Fund, which for the new members, you will learn about that in more detail. But that's a small grant program the city has to give small dollar amounts to neighborhood associations to make improvements in their parks. And otherwise just to connect with the neighborhood associations to kind of get to understand what the needs and the issues are around the city related to parks and recreation. The other initiative has been helping the city facilitate a celebration of National Walk to a Park Day, which is October 10th every year. And it's an opportunity to celebrate who does and does not have a walkable access to a park near their home. The next category here, titled Special Order of Business. A big component of this year is that the city is kicking off an update to our park system plan. And that's a huge initiative for this group. So the first two items here have to do with that. The actual details of when staff will be coming with you to consult, we haven't quite worked out, but we will be bringing lots of things to you over the year. But as we go through this multi-year planning process with the community to update the system plan. This is a big deal. This is our long-range park system plan. I thought it'd be a great opportunity to kind of share some of my park planning nerdness with you all. And so the idea here is at each meeting, I will present a little bit about some aspect of what park planning and development is all about. You'll just learn a little bit about what we do, and it all have direct relevance to the park system plan. So as we go through the first phase of this large planning process, which is all about assessing the park system, where we are today, you guys will also have an opportunity to kind of build up your awareness of what kind of park planning is. That's the idea there. Just to give you some examples of some of the topics that I could present to you under that, if that item continued. We talk about our community engagement strategies, how we use geographic information systems, park planning's role in the city's land use and development process. So you can just kind of learn, like, how does a new park get identified and acquired? Something like that. So you would just build some awareness of that over the year. Next here, in the December packet, there was information about a new project at Wallace Natural Area. This is a couple check-ins, opportunities for staff to consult with or to get your consultation on that project throughout the year. And then similarly, there's a number of projects here where the staff will be either coming to give you an update, just to give you information because it's something that we think you would be interested in, or we'll be asking you to review something and give us some feedback in addition to reviewing it. So there's a number of initiatives there, park development plans, park improvement projects that you will just get a chance to learn and check in with us as we go through those projects. And then ongoing programs and reports. Again, a lot of this is standard practice from year to year. Toward the end of the year, there'll be annual recaps of the softball program, the recreation program, and our events and park reservations. For those of you who are continuing, you had received that into last December. And then the Park Foundation comes and gives an annual presentation to the board as well. The Mission Street Park Conservancy delivers a quarterly report to the board, and so that's there. And today they'll be giving a presentation here.
If I can interrupt, Rob, we talked to Jen, we're gonna reduce that to twice a year.
Oh, just once a year. One just
Once a year.
annual.
Yeah, annually, just to save staff time.
Got it. Well, if there's no objections to that, I'll just.
With the X's off, yes.
And then the division, the Park and Recreation Division, we will endeavor each month to write a written report about our activities to keep you up to date on items that are otherwise are not going to be on the agenda. And then also a few times a year, we will give you an update on the Salem Park Improvement Fund. That's that small grant program I spoke about moments ago. We also will resurrect and bring back a graffiti and damage report so you guys can track graffiti and damage to the park system. There is an opportunity for the board to nominate volunteers for recognition through the city-wide volunteer recognition process. And then there's annual reporting to city council and actually delivering the report, which has typically been the responsibility of the chair. So Chair Hartwig, I'll work with you on that.
Please. Please,
Yes.
yes.
I see there's a question from.
Yeah, I got a question. Is there a specific time when volunteer recognition nominations are to be submitted?
Yes, the lining up here of August does fit in right into that process. I don't actually recall, I think the recognitions maybe be in October, but August is when the board will have to take action on it.
Okay, thanks.
A few other things, just down here, we'll fill in the chair and vice chair after the meeting. And there are a few liaison role components that have to be determined in them. Member Flores, Mauricio Flores, he is designated as the cultural or arboricultural expert on the board. And so he's part of a committee with no other member that's focused on city-owned trees. So if ever an issue arose and the board wanted to have two members take a deeper dive into a tree-related issue, the idea is that committee would work on it. I don't think you need to decide that today, but he's currently the only one in that committee. What I think what staff would like the board to decide on today is assigning two members to participate in the Salem Park Improvement Fund application review process. And Jen, I don't know if you want to mention that.
So that the award process is in February. So that process starts in September for each year for the neighborhood associations. And there's various steps in that, and the awards are granted at the beginning of February. So just to clarify, we need one member. We've previously had two members. So if two people are interested, that's fine. But minimally, we would need one person from SPRAB to represent and help us review the neighborhood project applications and then help us determining award amounts.
And that's the end of our presentation of the work plan. Any questions we definitely can help with.
Okay. Do we want to make those two appointments to those committees now, or?
Yeah, if there wanted to be some discussion made about that, I could definitely type something in.
I say something.
I can fix that.
The tree, city-owned tree committee. I think Chris, knowing his career background, might be a good place for you.
Yeah, I'd be willing to take that.
And the SPIF application review. Anybody interested?
I'd be willing to help out there. I suppose if, yeah, I can help out with that. Spiff application review. I'm hoping to encourage West Salem to do something that we'll see.
Okay. Anything else?
Discussion and, if there was a motion.
Okay. So it says that we need to adopt this.
Oh, so I suppose we probably need a motion to move to adopt that, right?
That would be nice.
I would move to adopt the work plan as presented with the changes added.
Okay, is there a second?
Second?
Okay. All in favor, say aye.
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 Okay. Done. Now, let's talk about our meeting schedule. And the one thing that jumped out at me was that we changed from 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock to
Accommodate that.
to help our teacher and our college professor. And but now I read that start times of recommendation is for start times of 1 p.m. or earlier. Now, Sigrid, that would affect you, correct?
Well, it would, but this is what I've decided. I've got personal time. And I think, so I've allotted my personal days for this afternoon. Does that make sense? Yeah.
Great.
So I did miss in December. I actually had, my brother got cancer this fall and I was a lot of appointments with him. I try to always be in the classroom, but I did have to call in at the last minute and say I was absent. You know why? The kids were wild. I couldn't turn my back on him. I think we can do that. So is 1 o'clock better? Yeah,
It's fine with me.
yeah.
I would say 1 o'clock was suggested by staff because
Sure.
of operational reasons. It's easier.
Great.
It's easier for us.
Like, no problem.
Okay, well, we used to meet at 5:30 or something.
The evening was, more
Yeah.
difficult having a meeting, yeah.
Now, other committees I've been on and boards, when you have a 5:30 meeting, they provide a dinner for you. I never saw it.
We never did that.
Okay, I know budget cuts. Okay, so, we can, if we feel like 1 o'clock is, the time, the chair will, entertain a motion.
Question first. Are all of the dates that are proposed there a Thursday?
They are all the
Second,
second
Thursday.
Thursday.
Okay, that's what I wanted to confirm. Thank you.
okay. So do we have somebody willing to make a motion?
Move that
we adopt.
Okay, is it a second? Okay, I think I heard Fraser too. Okay. All in favor of adopting the time schedule for our meetings, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, 1 o'clock it is on the second Thursday of every month. All right, and they're all gonna be in this location, except for maybe our tours.
Mhm.
Okay, report to city council. Now, we have what's in front of us here. The board will consider a proposed annual report modeled off the board approved reports from 23 and 24. Once approved, the 25 annual report will be forwarded to the mayor and council at a future council meeting. So I don't know if you've had much chance to look at it. It's basically what we've had before, except for some tweaking because of minor changes in the year. Anything you want to add to that, Rob?
I'll just say that you kind of summed up well. We're following the approach that seems to have worked well is keeping the report pretty streamlined and minimal, really just highlighting the key accomplishments, which are on this are the 6 bullet points on the first page. Second page of the report is really just background information about the board. So it's really the front is the main report, and it's really those 6 accomplishments there. And staff just picked the ones that seemed most significant. There were certainly other things we could have added there, but we didn't want to.
Yeah, I think my first year on the board, it was like a novel or a book. And knowing how busy our city councilors are, I'm not sure how many of them read it all. So this is much more concise. And, if they want to know more information, they can just ask.
The discussion and consideration of the Willamette University bike activity field improvement was quite significant, I thought.
But it was a significant element of your 2024.
Right.
Oh, was it that long
Yeah,
ago?
yeah.
Time flies.
Yeah.
Okay, this report looks very good, I wanted to say. I'm pleased with the polish and professional and work, everything. It looks good.
One last detail, I'll just say this is a mock-up of the final formatting of it. We will send this off to our desktop publishing staff, our graphic designers. They'll make it look a little bit nicer before it gets submitted to city council.
And then you'll edit the
Yes,
members.
we'll edit the highlighted section, yeah.
Okay. All right, so what we need to do is to approve this annual report. Are we ready to do that, or we need more time?
I move to accept the report as printed with the correction of the members.
Okay, a second?
Second.
All right, any further discussion? All right, all in favor of adopting, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. All righty, we're just getting right to this. We're up to the Mission Street Park Conservatory, where it goes. Julie. I must admit that this, I am amazed at how active this is. And very excited for the thing they do.
Good. I'm Julia Battle.
I'm Mike Weber.
I'm president, Mike's vice president, and we're very pleased to be doing this and enjoy it very much. So I just want to quickly go through, we sent you the report, but mostly to give y'all, if you had a chance to, if you had questions. So
We figure you're just as busy as the city council, so we're trying to keep this to pictures and brief, but please, we can expound on anything you want to hear about.
So we have 4 mission in our mission statement. And so that's kind of, we're supposed to preserve. So this first picture is the old rose garden, and it's one of the things we're really trying to preserve. So the old things on the grounds, we really look at preserving, working with with y'all's help to preserve the oak trees and not damage them in the no-mow area. And this is one of our old members that's done all kind of work to preserve things. So he's kind of perfect in preserving.
I do want to mention on this, the area being managed differently, I want to thank staff and Stroud for the support of that. It was instrumental in trying to preserve these trees. We lost 5 trees in the last 5 weeks. The oldest oak was over 200 years old, according to the park horticulturist Joe McNally, who did some preliminary tree counting. We lost 3 other oaks, all of them in excess of 150 years old. We lost a very large Douglas fir. So when we say we're trying to preserve and we're asking for the help in maybe doing things differently, it's based on the work that the staff has done and the research and the oaks. It's hard to replace a 225-year-old oak tree. So this is something that we are thrilled to be active with and working with you all for that.
The second thing is to maintain, and this is what we do a lot of, which is weeding. So we have one of our things that Mission Street Park Conservancy has is a Tuesday gardener group that comes out, and we've averaged 30 people every Tuesday morning. but it's a big park and there's lots to do. So there's a lot of weeding to be done and we spend a lot of time doing that. This is Mike up on ladder doing pruning. We do a lot of pruning too. And we plant in new trees to maintain the things, you know, as we lose trees, to maintain things, we plant trees to replace them. So.
All the pruning that I do is in conjunction with Joe McNally's approval, the park horticulturist, and Mylan, the urban forester. We do not undertake things on our own. We will be pruning more this winter, on trees, but I don't want to mention that.
So Mike meets with Joe. Mike is our garden foreman and he meets with Joe and the other park staff once, you know, all the time to get our work plan done. So our weekly work plan. So we don't just go in. To enhance our biggest project that we just finished is our woodland garden. And it's really lovely and has come out real well and it gets way used. So I don't know if y'all have been there to see it, but I hope you would go. This picture's in there because we had to lay down these cobbles twice because we did them wrong the first time. So anyway, there were a lot of work to put in. But as you can see, it's a lovely space and the people are really enjoying it. So, Interpret is our next one. And we started this year putting out a newsletter every month and that we have, Mike puts in an article about some plants, everything. And then also we have a workshop or a walk or something for the public every once a month. So these are some of the things we did this year. We had 2 pruning workshops. One Joe did on roses, and then we also did one on the espalier apples. We learned about pruning in general, and then we went out there and did it. That was in February. In March, we did a nature walk. It poured. So a few hardy of us made it the whole way. In April, we did our spring plant sale. And that's the way to get plants. We have a lot of native plants we sell to try to get people, encourage people and give them information about gardening too. In May, we did the Old Rose tour. We had a rosarian from Eugene came down that's very knowledgeable and she toured everybody around and gave a big group about the roses. In June, we did a workshop on hummingbirds and built hummingbird feeders. In July, one of our event is we get together with Lord and Scriber and Deepwood and we have a group event. So we do something in each of the 3 of those. And so we did pollinators this year and we had a pollinator expert from Sweet Home come up and talk to us about different pollinators and looked around and Mike took them a tour showing them different pollinator plants in the garden. In August, we did a bird nesting workshop. We learned about birds and how they nest and how to attract them. And then we built bird houses. And then we did the fall plant sales in September. October, we made brooms. So we could be witches. We did it with Scotch broom, which is invasive plant. So we got rid of some Scotch broom and then made the brooms. So, and it does make good brooms. That's why they brought it over here. But, in November, we did a walk along Pringle Creek with Luke Westfall, that's in charge of the stormwater, and he did an excellent job of explaining to us about that. So those are the things. Keep going. Yeah, that's what we did this year. That's kind of just our overview of all the things we did. And then Mike's going to go over our work goals for next year.
I hate when I attend meetings and people read to me, so unless you have a question, I'm not gonna read this aloud to you. I'll just give you some highlights. The group comes out as a group generally about 10 months out of the year, 30 people a week, every week. Roughly 1,300 hours of volunteer work goes into weeding, planting, mulching, etc. And that goes on. The board meets monthly, and that's not included in that 1,300 hours of work that we do. We are also working this year, hopefully, to bring in groups that want to do events, work events in the park. Invasive plant removal we're hoping to get a weekend group on that to pull ivy. We're hoping we had some people come in a year ago and weed in the rose garden. So women lawyers wanted to get active. We are looking to increase public outreach into the park. Everything we do is to get more people to use our parks. We have gorgeous park system. And Bush is the really nice part. So this is what we do throughout the year. We try to do something, I'm not gonna read all this, so Rob, you can just skip through it. It's all in your handouts.
Yeah, and if you have questions, that's what we just thought we'd put it up here. This is your chance. If you read something and thought it was peculiar or wanted to know, let us know. So this is kind of, we work to the strength of funding and the future of Mission Street Park conservative and its stated goals, which is to partner with the city to make Bush the best park it can be, is our best goal. So, in this coming year, one of our things we'd like to do is see about getting a nature play area, and we're working with the city. And this is a picture of kind of where we think might be a potential spot. This is looking downhill. This is where the children's play area is currently. A big tree just went down here. This is an area that's not very used much, and it's bounded on this side by a stream that comes down from the ravine that would make a nice play area for the children. And there's a big tree right here, but that's a picture of it up there that the kids can climb on. And they use it a lot. It's a real nice tree, makes kind of a little fort in there. It's a fun place to go. So some of the trees that went down in the park recently, we're hoping to maybe use those logs to be part of a nature play, but this is just the beginning of it. We're just started talking to Jennifer and Noel about how we would do a nature play area, but it seems like something that park could really use. And we're excited about working with them to see about that.
We discovered in preliminary talks that this is part of the area in the park that can be reserved for events. This is called the amphitheater. So while we were very excited to do this, we realized we may have to change our goal a little bit. We may want to stick more closely to being on the hillside and not interfering with this, which apparently it can be used for gatherings and is also a staging area for other events. So we are really looking to tie together the children's playground here. And this is the art barn right here. There's the children's playground. We're trying to make this a family-oriented area. So where you have the restrooms up there, you have parking, you know, young children's play area, the swings and toys. And the older kids always want to come down and climb in this tree. You'll see there's some very thick branches there. All summer long, you'll find kids climbing on those thick branches. That's a Mexican sequoia. And we want to kind of utilize that slope in that area. And that would all be up in here. So it's a place where the kids can get dirty and yet be safe. We're not trying to get swings in there or climbing bars. It's logs you can slide over. Maybe, we've looked at the Oregon Garden. They have a large drainage pipe kids can crawl through. We understand that may require some serious thought here in downtown Salem. We don't want anybody else in that pipe, but it's very short term. You know, it's only a 20 or 30-foot length. But this is the area we would like to see. As we built the Woodland Garden, this is our next big project. We don't expect to accomplish this overnight. Rob's probably surprised to hear about all this. We haven't cleared it with him yet. So we're letting you all know what our goal is to work on that.
My goal is to work with him and get something.
Yeah.
And if there's a better place to do it, this is just where it struck us as maybe a place that would be a good place. So we're at the beginning stages, but we just want y'all to know that we're excited about continuing to make Bush the best park it can be.
And this would be funded by us.
Yeah.
We funded the Woodland Garden. We would also fund what we need. We don't intend to do much heavy work here. We would fund that. And I don't want to get anybody in trouble, but there are a couple of tree trunks being hidden in the park now for future use. So, we are stockpiling.
Commandeered, if you will.
We're stockpiling our supplies.
Are there any questions?
I have a comment. Well, this is just an idea that came to me. Down near, where is it? Head ahead, Lighthouse. On the coast, they have a trail that they renamed the Hobbit Trail. And they ended up getting a lot more use. It was captivating. Somehow it was a trail that wasn't being used. And then when they named it the Hobbit Trail, then everyone caught in. When you drive by, everyone wants to go on it. It would be fun to do something like this.
Well, that's what we were thinking along the stream. We could put bridges and,
Yes,
there's things, we could do
absolutely.
a ferry area where people make ferry houses and put them, there are all kind of things.
It'd be really fun to have a captivating title, a make-believe title. And it seems like if the state took that term Hobbit, you go driving along and they actually have the Hobbit Trail. Not that, you don't have to use that, but it would be captivating. Ferry would be great too. That little stream is so darling, and I mean, I have a lot of good memories of my
Yeah.
own grandkids
Yeah,
on this.
I think right now it kind of goes and comes and I
Right.
think we could
Of
make it
course.
put rocks anyway. I think there's some potential.
What a great idea.
Yeah, so I think we're getting there. So anyway, if you have other ideas, you go to the last slide, I think we've got one more slide. This is our group at our, at the end of the year, our end of the year appreciation party. Anyway, I want to thank y'all for being partners with us and, all the help you give us too. Yes.
I just, one question. Do you have any other funding besides the planned sales?
No, we have people
Donations.
donations.
We
Donations?
we do two fundraising letters a year to people who have supported us. We are looking
And
to.
and then you have the enormous number of volunteer hours.
Yeah.
That, does that, of course, the city is responsible for some of the maintenance or.
Oh, yeah,
Maintenance.
yeah.
But, you do a lot with very little, it seems. Our job, unless there are any other questions, or comments, our job is to endorse, what was just presented to you and, the, with recommendation of approval so that you can, turn it to the city council. Is that right? Okay.
Well, we go to Rob.
I don't have any idea. I just told to do a report and I did.
Bad news.
Bad news?
Yeah, we don't have quorum.
Oh, we lost somebody?
We lost him.
So does that mean that
Meeting's over now.
the entire meeting is?
Oh, well, before we go, can I say something? When you're done, are we done? Are we really have to close this abruptly?
Quorum, right?
And just fall off of the meeting.
Off, he just disappeared.
No, just,
Maybe wait a moment to see if that was a
Well-
technology issue.
While we're waiting, can I say something? So I saw on What's Happening Salem, I don't know if you guys follow that on Instagram, but he's got like 40,000 followers, maybe more than that now. And so what happened is he wrote in the New Year's, he wrote, "My Christmas wish list for Salem Park upgrades, more support for small businesses, street and sidewalk repairs, more youth programs, roller rink." So I want to tell you what I wrote. I tell you, and I think it got the most likes. So I thought it said park upgrades at the top, right? So are you guys okay if I read this? I'll just read it in my spirit. I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but I was the first time I've ever stepped in and advocated. Do you understand? As part of being it. So I want you to know I did that. I'm gonna read what I wrote. It's not perfect and I wrote it fast. I am on this Parks and Recreation Board and we just toured some incredible upgrades, both finished and in the process, including beautiful graded playing fields and skate facility at Gear Park, complete with its own beaver pond. The skate park is incredible and designed by a renowned firm. We toured the upgrades for Riverfront Park that will make it the loveliest and funnest park and beautiful improvements in Hoover Park. The City of Salem Parks Department works hard to get the most from our tax dollars. Careful planning using indigenous plants, prioritizing children's play and safety, and helping Salem remain one of the most beautiful park-rich cities in the United States, USA. A long history of civic involvement and volunteerism, you guys, helps enhance our relationship with nature. And I didn't get any downvotes. And someone wrote, and I know this gal is, she's up at Fairmont. Salem has some amazing parks and the park staff seems genuinely committed to making them even better. So that's what I'm saying. So it's for us.
Do we have Fraser's cell phone number?
I do not. No, I've only received his email address and his mailing address.
Next year, when y'all go tour parks, we'd be glad to give you a tour of Bush.
Any month, or if you want us to come back to this again, we'll come back next month.
Yeah, India.
So even though we had a quorum when we did the first part of the meeting,
No decision can be made with that one.
I
the entire meeting
Yes,
is
it is.
null and
If
void?
he doesn't return in a moment, we should probably end the meeting.
Did you leave him a message? Should we message him?
Well, he's not online, he can't message.
No, I don't.
Yeah.
Maybe we need to establish that with these
Yeah.
people.
We need to know that we have to have 5 members present, either
Yeah,
online or
I
present.
bet he didn't know that.
Probably not.
Well, he may not have known how many other people were here too.
Yeah, too.
Well, you can see it's there, but he may not know.
Yeah, that might be something we need to do all the time.
Oh, that's too bad.
With the decisions we made prior when we had 5, that's still okay.
Please know that your work is very valuable and appreciated. We will continue to support whatever we can. I think you got some great ideas.
Fits into like my silver service prism of down Woody debris, but then like, it's a park, they probably have some sort of flags, I can see where they've limited shift some of those plans.
I think maybe,
But the big lots.
queuing them up is what we need.
That's true.
Because in a public meeting, have that, letting them know what we need to do when we come back together in February, so. They put together their
They
individual.
came out another time.
It's come out once Friday.
So my brother was on the volunteer board. They're
That's
having,
what I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
yeah,
right
they
now.
will come out, because one time they. I just so you know, can you find that number of the phone?
Yeah.
Yes, and I actually don't have it, but I can get the contact number and send, I'll give you it. Let's give me a number, phone number. Because they'll really, they'll
Say
get
that
the
information.
volunteers.
Yeah,
That's last, not recognition.
Here and more times.
That's a good
Yeah,
idea, they don't have to.
again.
know when you- Just for a Saturday, they came out and they had
So.
a big
Right.
turnout.
Even though we had a forum, we can't,
Ivy is also.
Or it has to be, you can't transact business without, for your bylaws, without a quorum present.
I'll find the
So,
contact.
well, we had a forum present.
but it's no longer present.
Correct.
So everything that already happened is fine, anything moving forward, so we can't take action.
Yeah, no
Yeah,
more
we
actions.
can't- right.
So- But before we leave, and while we're all still here and this is being broadcast, staff is gonna bring up an item under new business that we will discuss, but ask that you not discuss it today. The city is conducting a review of all its boards and commissions and specifically the positions on those boards. And so SPRAB is a commission or is an advisory board composed currently of 9 positions. 8 of them, or I should say 7 of them have no specific requirement. They're just at large, so they're just appointed by the city council. 2 of them have special conditions for their position. One is the horticultural or arboricultural expert that currently member Flores sits in that position. The other position is currently vacant and has been vacant for at least 4 years. And it is a position to be appointed by or it's a position to be held by a representative of the school district. There's some history there that I don't want to go into too much, but over time, the relationship between the school district and the city park system has evolved where we're not integrated in the way we used to. So that is the lack of that position being fulfilled is likely a product of the lack of the change in relationship between the 2 entities.
We don't have the shared property that we.
We don't share properties and programs the way we used to. So staff is going around asking all the boards and commissions to comment on their current makeup. If members had ideas about making changes or eliminating positions or adding positions. I think the broad focus is to improve engagement in both in terms of like equitable engagement across the city, relevant engagement. And so what I think we're gonna ask you all to do is to sit on that and feel very free to email individually your thoughts to staff. You can email us at any time your thoughts and we can pass that along. But don't talk about it today because we don't have a quorum.
And yeah, make sure to, no.
And don't talk about.
Don't email in a group.
Among yourselves.
Don't email in a group.
That would just.
Individually.
Can I ask
provide
a
a
question about what
response.
is the intended purpose there?
Yeah.
Well, Mark kind of does it too, but part of the intent is to, on some commissions, it's, or boards, it's very specific that there's a lot of particular classifications or representatives that are there. And it also can then make difficulty in filling those positions when those positions become vacant. And so it's just trying, I think, in some regard to measure where it's appropriate to have specific categories to represent the particular boards and commissions, and where it's no longer necessary to have those particular categories because circumstances have changed, and then that opens opportunities to the public to be able to maybe to sit on those boards or commissions where previously they might not have been able to do that.
Then it makes it easier for that board to meet a quorum too.
Yes.
Okay.
So, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Mark Weinstein. I'm Deputy City Attorney. I'm also the attorney that assists the staff and this particular board. To answer the question that was raised, and I think staff answered it incredibly, the city is looking at its boards and commissions as a whole, not just this specific one. But it's an opportunity to look at all of its boards and commissions and the designated requirements. In this board, there's only 2 positions that have requirements. The rest can be what's referred to as at-large members. The goal of this project is to make sure that if the work of a particular board or commission requires certain levels of expertise, for instance, I'll just put this out there, the Salem Public Art Commission, which part of its job is to determine what art the city should accept into its collection and what art it should release from its collection. Obviously, it wouldn't serve much purpose if there was no one with some type of art knowledge and experience in curating collections and determining sort of criterion ground rules for what is art, even though it can be very subjective, but having some information for putting that out there. Wouldn't necessarily need to be everyone on that commission, but you can see how that would be there where there are certain levels of expertise that would be necessary for that commission or board to do its work. In this group, so the idea is to go through all of them for all of the city's boards and commissions and see, well, what are the requirements? Are they necessary for the work of that board or commission today? Rob mentioned with this, the requirement that there be someone here from the school district. Likely that was created when there was much more joint ownership of the parks. And so maybe not something necessary any longer. There's another one here that talks about one member having, and then it lists some specific things that person needs to have. Is the intent of that requirement still need those specific designations, or can it be a little bit broader? Those are the types of things to think about. That said, this is information that if there's going to be a discussion amongst the members of this board, not just individually between boards, like each individual member can communicate with staff, but if you want to have a discussion amongst the board and then give some specific recommendations, that should be done in a public forum at a public meeting. Unfortunately, with our timelines, because we're trying to come back to the full city council with this information, we're looking at trying to do that in February. Where you would be meeting in February is going to be a tight squeeze. So if this board feels that it wants to have the ability to communicate amongst the members, please do not do it by phone, but it needs to be in a public forum. Then you would need to agree to have a special meeting for that purpose sometime, preferably in the month of January. Otherwise, as Rob has suggested, it can be done individually, not amongst yourselves, individually without collaborating with each other, but you can give your thoughts to Rob and then he can put those together and we can bring it together. So that would be up to you. I know Councilor Barney is suggesting that maybe putting together a survey for which you all could respond to. So there could be some uniformity in the responses, another way to do it. The city just wants to make sure that the members of each of the boards and commissions that would be impacted by changes has the history and experience of knowing what is vital experience-wise for that board or commission to be working effectively, was able to give this input. So that's why we're coming to you. Lawyers are never known for being short in their speeches. So I'll stop there, and I think I've said everything you all need to consider as to how you want to go about this. So.
I think that was really good. It's really important to have the public input instead of just staff and counselors. And so you serve a really important role in providing that. You're representing broader groups of the public.
So if there's anything urgent, it's the report to city council that we need to adopt, probably before February, if necessary.
You made it through that component of your agenda today. Yeah, I think the only thing urgent is simply what Mark just spoke about. Yeah, and so if there were members who wanted to convene a special meeting, you let us know.
We could do it by survey.
So
Yes, we can absolutely send out a simple survey, an online survey to help you more uniformly respond individually to staff. Or we could always call in extra meetings. Extra meetings are a possibility. So if that was an interest to just get everyone back together, we would need a quorum. We would need to publicly notice that meeting. You could then have an open discussion as a group.
I have a question. There are 1, 2, 3 people that were not present. Fraser was here for a while, but 3 people. Did any of them let you know they weren't going to be here?
No.
I'm trying to phrase this well. Is there any way that they could, the people who are who have absence issues, to let them know that they are needed and not to the point of saying, show up or leave, but something a little bit less than that, but not much.
That's kind of a separate issue on a regular basis. The thing is, we got to express our individual opinions about requirements for membership and whether or not they need to be changed.
So they have to attend 75% of the meetings, from what I understand.
Well, I mean, the specific requirements for appointment to member.
Oh.
That's what I think we're being asked to provide input.
So
The
the,
time sensitive issue.
so the survey would say something like this. We feel there's two choices, and it would say, do you feel that the requirements for the appointment of a school board district person?
We actually not.
Oh,
I want to be careful about
okay, I didn't know.
crossing the line. So,
I won't say. Sorry.
so the city is asking for input from its boards and commissions for whether, how they feel. Are there, looking at the requirements for membership for that particular board and commission. So the requirements for the board, this particular board for you to serve is set out in Salem Revised Code section 13.030. The board is 9 members. There are special requirements for 2 of those members, and it's reading verbatim. 1 member shall be chosen to represent the Salem Kaiser School District, and at least 1 member shall have an expertise in urban forestry, arboriculture, or horticulture to the extent that professionals meeting these standards are available in the community. So there's 2 members of the 9 that have special requirements. All of the other 7 can be at large. And then the pool is members of the board as a whole shall be chosen from among such persons concerned with and interested in the development of public parks and playgrounds and like public places in the city. And then lastly, you have to be a member of the city of Salem. Or have your business here. So what we are doing as a whole in order to promote balance of each board and commission able to do the work that they're charged with versus making our boards and commissions accessible to the greatest number of people with interest by limiting special requirements that people may not have as a whole. Like how many people are in the city of Salem that have expertise in urban forestry, arboriculture, or horticulture? It's something to think about. The questions the city is asking of its boards and commissions are there any requirements that you feel should be added in order to effectively do the work of your commission? Are there any things that should be removed or changed? Though that's what we're asking everyone. So we are trying to put that information so that we can bring this information back to the council as a whole so that they can determine whether or not they want, because these are all for all of the various requirements of our boards and commissions, they're in ordinances, and it's council that determines changes to those ordinances. So we are gonna report back to full council for all of this, what the input we received. And so for Salem Park and Recreation Board, we are not just asking for staff's input, but we also want the input of the board and commission as a whole. Unfortunately, if a board or commission wants to collaborate on that, it should happen in a public forum, not you all go get together and then email us. So because there's no longer a quorum here, can't do it at this meeting. So that's, I think, the ultimate question is, you can either receive some type of a survey or a communication from staff and individually, without discussing it outside of a public forum, give your input to staff and they can coalesce it and move that on. Or if you want to, as a group, discuss it and work through it and kind of go through it and talk it through and then have some specific unified thoughts on it, which you're welcome to do that way. Based on timelines, that would probably require the setting of a special meeting sometime this month for whatever length of time you all think it would be required. Does that make sense?
Let me ask a question.
Of course.
We've been working on this since 2023. Why the sudden urgency?
I
know.
I don't have an answer for that. I am just trying to meet the timelines that have been set for me. So,
Okay, I'm just curious.
I thought it's obvious, read the news.
Okay,
I have no problem with this, just reporting to you what we feel about this individual. I think it'd be the most expeditious way of doing it. And whether you want it by email or.
yeah, we
But
can
the
just
meeting's fine.
email it, right? Yeah.
If it's helpful, we could do a simple survey just to structure it a little bit.
I think that would be
I don't
helpful,
think we
like
have
a
it.
link to the information, whatever it is, the SRC or
Yeah.
the ordinance or whatever, just so that the background is the same for everybody and they're all coming from the same. Wait,
Yeah, I haven't seen any complications or problems with our membership requirements at this point,
Okay,
other than
okay.
mentioning the fact that we haven't been able to fill one of them from the school district. Officially.
I don't want us to go to, I think we should discuss your thinking.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so.
Well, we can express our things individually there.
Thank you, everyone.
So I guess, well, it's not really a meeting, so do I have to adjourn
Yes, please.
it? Okay,
Move to adjourn.
am I still chair?
Yes.
Okay, so everything we did up until we did lost the quorum, we're okay with.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I asked before and you told me, I thought you said no.
Oh, no.
So all of our, where we voted to adopt these things, they're, okay, good.